Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tarot by the Pines. I am your lovely host Jason, and in this video I'll be resetting some of my tarot and oracle decks that are no longer serving me or they're just not being used that often. Now, resetting a deck is essentially putting all of the cards back in order, and this can benefit you in multiple ways, such as cleansing your deck after multiple uses, but in this case, not that many uses. And you can also reconnect or even connect with your deck even more. For me, resetting a deck is very therapeutic. It's a fun activity. It's very calming. And yeah, it's just a good old time. So hopefully you'll join me for this. I'm going to flip the camera over and start resetting some decks. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I'm resetting these decks because I don't use these very often, or I plan on rehoming them. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the Tarot of Haunted House. Hopefully this won't take too much long. I'm going to do basically put all of the stuff together. The cups, the wands, the pentacles, the majors, all that good stuff. But what I really like about this deck, and it's a shame I don't use it that often, is the it's borderless, so I'm loving non-borders. The artwork reminds me of old movie posters. I really dig of what the creator was trying to do with this deck, but I really cannot connect with any of the court cards. I really do like all of the majors, which is really rare for me. But yeah, I just find myself not really being called to this deck. Even around like Halloween time, I really don't use this deck often. The artwork is really nice. It's stunning. It's basically about a girl. It's about a girl getting trapped in this house, and she's encountering all of these demons, these witches, I think vampires as well. It's a very story-based tarot deck, which I wanted to have this in my collection because of that, and I thought, this deck would really serve me. However, the more I worked with it, the less I was really, enjoying it. It's a shame. I don't like any of the wands or of the cups. I really dig the suit of swords, which that is not very shocking to me. I feel like the sword suit is very potent. It will tell it like it is, and I just love that. Hopefully this is a fun activity for you guys to watch. I'm not sure, but I figured I would just record this adventure that I'm on. Because I do think resetting a deck is very fun to me, and I just wanted to capture this this moment. Getting there, almost done. I think the hardest part is actually putting the majors together because I still don't know my Roman numerals. Gasp, I know. Okay, so I think what I'll do, I think I'll start with the minors. That's 3. So if you have this deck, let me know in the comments below what you think of this deck. And by no means, this is I'm not hating on any of these decks on this video. This is just my personal opinion. 7, 8, 9. Okay, here's going to be the tricky part. Maybe this one might be easier than I thought. I think this is the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay. Wait, what's this? 4. Try not to talk that often, because then I think it's going to mess me up, but clearly that's not the case. Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit tricky there. Now onto the swords. Knight, queen, and king. All right. So, folks, here we go into the majors. Oh, goodness. All right. I'm going to find the fool. Where are you at? There's 2. Watch it be at the very bottom. Oh, close. All right. 1, 2. Need that one. Yeah, I think my biggest thing is going to be the majors for all of these decks. Okay, now I'm getting lost. So let me pull out the little guidebookie. Okay, and it's that very generic guidebook too. Really doesn't offer much insight, except it is a story-based deck, so it does go into what you're seeing on the card. But if you're looking to learn tarot with this deck, I think that might be a little hard. There's the wheel. Don't judge me for not knowing my Roman numerals, guys. I'm sorry. Justice. Hanged Man. Thankfully, some of these decks have actual numbers on them, so it's going to be a little quicker. Oh, wait, Death. Always, where's Death? And Temperance. Okay. Wait, Devil. Devil. Okay. Tower. Star. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment, and the World. All right, look at that. All right, one deck down. So let's do the Wisdom of the Oracle. And these have numbers. And this was my first Oracle deck that didn't feature animals. When I first started getting into the Tarot and Oracle, I didn't like people on my decks. That has changed drastically. So this was one of my very first Oracle decks. The cardstock is very glossy. It's a Colette Baron Reed deck, so she's very popular in the Oracle community, and I believe she has a tarot deck out there. And thankfully, these have numbers. There's one. Okay. I knew it. 2, 3, 4. 10. And the guidebook for this deck is pretty thick. It does go into reversals, I believe. I keep forgetting the number. That's what happens when you turn old. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do? Where the hell is 11? Oh, duh. Oh, Lord. 12, 13. I mean, the artwork is just so interesting, and each card has a face on it, hidden somewhere, so it's always like, hide, go, seek, or, yeah, hide, go, seek, I think. Or can you find, yeah, can you find this face? There's 14. There is another Colette Baron Reed Oracle deck that I have. It's her Animal Spirit, which is really nice too. But in Oracle decks, I'm not really I've grown out of the Oracle decks phase. I mean, I still enjoy a good Oracle deck, but they're all, from my experience, which is very limited, they just don't have enough substance for me to turn to them when I can have, tarot or something of that nature. But there are some really good tarot decks, Oracle decks out there that does have some substance. 19. 20, 21. 23. 23. Time for a nap. It sure is. And this is the Oracle deck that I used in Papa Squirrels and I's collab video, Oracle versus Tarot. So it has a little cameo in there. This deck is famous. 28. I just had 29. There's a 30 here. 30. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, and then we're getting into the 40s. This is a 52 card deck, so whew, it's a lot for an Oracle deck, I think. But there's not, not many Oracle decks that have a big number in their, their size. So it's impressive. Okay, wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yep. Sorry, guys. I would, if this was a live, y'all would tell me, what are you doing? You're messing it up. But I can't go live yet, so. 3, 44, 45, 6, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. There we go. Good old Colette Baron Reed. Let's do the Animal Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. And I purchased this deck before I knew the controversy, and thankfully this deck is color-coded, so it's going to make it a little bit easier. But even controversy aside, because I'm sure we all know about it, except me when I bought this deck, I really do not like all of this. I don't like all this text on the deck. I thought when I purchased it, I was like, oh, well, me thinking, oh, I'll be lazy and I don't, I just want to read the what the meanings are. That didn't turn out so well because it backfired. I'm like, yeah, I don't like, the more you write on the card, the less intuitive you can go with it. I mean, the artwork is really nice. And it's divided up into summer, autumn, winter, and spring, which I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long. The cards are like oracle size. They're thick and they're laminated and they're like cardboardy. Whenever I shuffled this deck, it would hurt my hands. I have pretty long but skinny hands, so take that what you will. But my hand was hurting after shuffling this deck. They're like long and wide, so okay. Let's do the winter. Ace of Winter. And also, I think for me, this deck, it talks about, in some of the cards, about God and Jesus, and, that's something I'm like, no offense at all. I mean, I believe in Jesus and God and whatnot, but I don't want it on my tarot deck. Princess? Yeah, I think that's right. Prince, Queen, and King. These backs, they're non-reversible. Just massive cards. Two. There's three. I just had three. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Princess, Prince, Queen, King. Going into the ace. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Princess, Prince, Queen, King. It's ace, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Princess, Prince, Queen, King. All right, now to the majors, and these are going to be fairly easy since they have numbers on them. It's 2, 2. Just had 3 somewhere. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right. All right. Okay. I think I can get this through pretty quickly. Eclipse, new moon. Oh, wait, I can do this. Oh, yeah. Clearly, I don't use this deck. The cardstock is that lovely matte butter finish, and the artwork is pretty stunning. I just put all the moons together. Oh wait, is all new moon? Oh, there's a full moon. It's very into astrology, of course. The guidebook is pretty decent in what is going on with the cards. Full moon. This is full moon, full moon, full moon. Just not really called to use this deck very often. I did use it the other day. It's a eclipse for my Instagram, and it was a really good reading. It went. I think I paired it with a tarot deck. Okay, so I have the new moons together, And that's awesome. And then the full moon. Now, I think the biggest thing is going to be doing with these other random cards. So I'm going to have to get the guidebook out. Okay. So we're going into the moon phase card, which is the first. So it'd be new moon. Oh, new moon right there. Waxing crescent moon. Waxing, oh, right there. Okay, all right. What is this? First moon. Wait, I think I have it. No, I don't. Let's see. First quarter moon. Okay. I love the backs too. Wow. Gibbous moon. Gibbous. Astrology is so complex to me. Like, I want to learn, but I know it's so much to learn. And it's so intimidating. Okay. Full moon. Third quarter. Like, I think this deck would be perfect for those who are really interested in astrology and the moon. It's not a bad deck at all. I will say that the key, the sentence on each key card is really, it throws me off. I think this would have been a great deck just to have like the type of moon on it. Awesome. Okay, so we did the moon phase cards, and now we're going into the special moon cards. Oh, okay. New moon. And then the next is full moon. Yep. Waxing. These cards are like butter. Oh my god. Like I could just shuffle this deck and just not even use it. Just shuffle it. But that wouldn't be fair, would it? Waning. Uh-oh. Am I missing a card? Oh. Dang. Void. Wait. I think I have it wrong. Yep. There we go. Technical difficulties. Well, not really, but you get what I'm saying. Cardinal. Fixed. Like, hold your vision. Okay. Nothing is yet set in stone. Like, okay. It's a great deck for time, I guess. If you're doing time readings. Fixed. Mutable. But there's a card on here that says your family is safe, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with my question. Blue. South and Node. Right. That is the Moonology Oracle, you guys.